Hello, greetings from Waliczka, near Krakow in Poland once again. Quite soon after the last time I was here. So I think I said before, I want to try and do more of these really, because they generally help what I'm trying to do, with the labels. I usually get a few orders every time I do one of these. So, and since it's been rather quiet on that front the last 2 or 3 days, I thought I should do another. It's a national. Well, no, it's not a national holiday today in Poland, but it was yesterday. It was Labour Day yesterday, May the 1st, and because Poland also has a national holiday on May the 3rd, irrespective of whether it's a weekend day or not. A lot of people have got today off as well, but I see some shops and whatever are open today anyway, regardless. For many people, it's just a normal day, a normal Friday. But because of the holidays this year falling on Thursday and Saturday, a lot of people have got the whole 4 days off. So yeah, and because of that, I've not really been working much today. I did one lesson this morning. Very interesting it was too, but I'm not here to talk about that. Maybe I will actually. I will say, when I do my English lessons, they're mostly conversations with adults. I do have a few younger people as well, but a few kids and some teenagers, but mostly they're conversations with adults, and we talk about all kinds of stuff. I do my job, and I am trained as a teacher, and I still keep my hand in with a school as well. But I really enjoy conversation lessons, and it gets me sometimes embroiled in discussions about all kinds of things, phenomenology and all kinds of stuff related to politics and religion, culture, international relations, cultural differences, all this kind of stuff. So I always really enjoy them. I think I think doing this job for 19 years now has really helped me in many respects. And I don't do many lessons now. I do between 15 and 22 a week, I guess, maybe 25 sometimes, but very rarely, mostly around the 20 mark. So I do about 20 lessons, and I always really enjoy doing them. So even when I feel tired, so which is a permanent state these days. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about what I do to pay the bills. So I'm here to talk about things going on at Fourth Dimension and so on. So the main thing I want to draw attention to this time is the Grim Humour book, Grim Humour book 3. And I've said before several times now that I initially hoped to have book 3, the final book in the series, ready around this time last year. But because the labels kind of became really busy, especially with the Base Communion CD, I mean, I was receiving orders for that daily, sometimes dozens of orders. So because things really went up a gear last year with the labels, and really they've been like, despite my little, complaint that I've barely had any orders in the last few days, I am generally pretty busy with the labels these days, despite some financial setback at the very beginning of the year, accorded by some massive bills hanging over my head. But beyond that, they're pretty busy. They keep me busy. I've always got ideas bubbling away, always fermenting, in the in the background as well. So it's not only what you can see in the shop, what's coming, the pre-orders, what I talk about here. There's always other stuff going on in my head. So I'm just checking the music. I'll talk about that in a minute. So to go back to the Grim Humour book, I'm working away on that at the moment. I've still got a little bit of work to do on it, and I'm getting there. Had I not been busy with the label last year, then I dare say everything would have gone as planned, and the book would have been out by now. But it isn't, and I'm careful. I don't like to just rush things out. When I first announced the book, I really thought I only needed 2 or 3 months um, to to finish it. But and I started announcing the book last spring, I think, or maybe even last February. I can't remember. So I do apologise if you pre-ordered the book and you're waiting for it. I can't do anything else other than I'm honest, So so all I can do is explain that yes, I've still got a little work to do. I am working on it. I was even doing some today after having walked the dog. I went on a huge walk earlier because it's absolutely. I mean, I've drawn the blinds because it's just so sunny here at the moment. It's like 25 or 26 degrees. It's absolutely nuts, and it's not the first time it's been like that this year either. 2 weeks ago, it was 28 degrees, and we were still in March. It's absolutely crazy. I will go off at another tangent here, and I know talking about the weather is really boring, but a lot of people still have this idea that Poland's really grey and miserable, and I don't know, and the winters are brutal. Yes, they used to be. We had 2 weeks of snow this winter. I counted the days. In fact, it was less than 2 weeks. We had over the whole course, throughout the whole winter, everything amounted to about 12 or 13 days of snow. And it was the same last year as well, the last winter. And it was quite bright and warm on some of it. Well, not warm, but moderate on some days. So that's how it is. So and spring and summer here, they're well, and autumn, it's pretty warm, and the summers are quite hot on 2 or 3 weeks every year. I mean, like mid 30s, sometimes beyond. So it's not good for a person of my disposition because I don't like the sun. So I mean, I like sunny days, but I don't like the heat. So it's nice when it's around 20, 22 degrees. But anyway, enough about the weather as well. The Grim Humour book, to go back to that, is still happening. I'm also going to order some more Grim Humour book 2s. I've had a few inquiries and even some more orders for Grim Humour book 2. I put off placing another order for some more copies to be printed because of, again, the kind of financial turbulence that I was immersed in for the best part of 2.5 months at the very start of this year. So I will, I think, next week order some more Grim Humour book 2s. So if you're waiting for a copy of that, or if you want a copy of it, get in quick. I'm not reprinting Grim Humour book 1. That is now officially sold out, we can say. And I did 2 or 3 more reprints of those as well. So I can't remember how many we did in the end. A few hundred anyway, but 500. So I mean, it's not a huge thing, but it's from my point of view, it's still nice that there's that amount of interest in some of these things. And I think these Grim Humour books look nice. They do. And there's a lot of hard work that goes into them. And Puppy 38, the designer, Michael Everett, he does a good job. So, but anyway, yeah, news on that in due course. By all means, pre-order Grim Humour Book 3, but I think we're still looking at another few months. And thanks again, meanwhile, to everybody who's patiently waiting. If anybody ever complains about waiting so long, you know, they only have to demand a refund. I'll send it. It's not a problem. It's you know, it's not unknown to me that somebody asks for a refund because they're waiting for a release or whatever. But nonetheless, I have to be honest. Most people, perhaps because I do this and because I always reply to emails and everything, I always have done. Most people are pretty patient with everything I do. So I have to thank them, you know, and maybe that overwhelming support that I got for the labels with the plea for help at the beginning of the year with the fundraiser, you know, that kind of illustrated something. I do appreciate the fact I seem to have a lot of people enjoying what I do with the labels. But yeah, and again, I am honest, you know. If there are problems with the labels, I say, you know, if there are delays for whatever reason, I say. I don't like some labels that, or the attitude of some labels where there's no contact and you know, there's this kind of aloofness or whatever. I fucking abhor it, actually. It's awful. Yeah, no, I know I'm not alone. I know people like Justin and Joe at Cold Spring and several other people at various other labels are similarly inclined, we can say. I'm not alone with this, but I think I've said before, I think I'm alone with doing, you know, these kind of YouTube uploads. But anyway, let's get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. I've extended the deals with the CDs, mail order and label, back catalogue stuff in the shop again until the 11th of May. And vinyl, back catalogue label releases and some mail order items as well. So please check out the deals. You know, I'm not going to individually link, you know, place links to them individually, but just go to the shop if you're interested in picking up some cheap CDs. Or that sounds wrong actually, but you know, if you're interested in picking up a number of CDs without costing too much, then or some vinyl, then there's some good deals in the shop at the moment. I've also taken away the postage on the Base Communion double LP because I've still got about 20 copies of that sitting here, and I'd really like them to go because I've got the When Worlds Collide double LP in production now, and I think they might land in 2 or 3 weeks. So I need space as usual, and I need money to pay the bloody bills, you know, more importantly. So I need space and I need money for the labels to pay bills. So yeah, Base Communion double LP is available until the 11th of May, postage free. So just £34. Get in. It's a great album. Fantastic. No idea why it didn't fly out like the CD, but maybe Stephen was right in saying, you know, don't do a vinyl version. But lots of people wrote to me and said they wanted a vinyl version, so I duly put pressure on him to do it, and he submitted. So there we are. Yeah, lots of pre-orders in place as well. The Kleistvar double CD will be going into production next week, so I think we're only a few weeks away from seeing that release out. The theme album, Meditations on Space Volume 1, that's in production now. We have proofs even sent to us a couple of days ago, so I know things are rolling there. And that theme, the splintered kind of electronic orientated, not solely electronics, but splintered, could call it a side project, but it's a group in its own right that consists essentially of Stuart Carter and myself, and we always have, but no, we don't always, but we very often have guests and collaborators, and this time we've got Hiroshima Bend, Michael again, and Jolt Chorez on viola. He's collaborated with us several times now. And who else? Emma Lynch and somebody else whose name always evades me. It's one of Stuart's contacts in Leicester, in England. Michał Mikios. No, I can't remember the surname. It's a Polish guy anyway, and I simply can't remember the surname. And there's another admission on my part. I'm useless. I'm terrible with Polish surnames. I always have been, and always probably will be, unless it's something really simple, like I think recently I sent a letter to I sent an order, I think, to somebody here in Poland called Mr. Kapusta, which is Mr. Cabbage. So I can remember things like that, and I'm not kidding either. It's really I really did send an order to somebody called Mr. Cabbage. So maybe in Polish it doesn't have any connotations, but excuse me. But certainly, yeah. I mean, the lady at the post office that I go to, she speaks really good English, and she laughed about it as well. So maybe it does. Anyway, I can remember things like that. Anyway, yeah. And Mr. I used to have lessons with somebody called Mr. Bird. So yeah, so I can remember a few things, but Mikiowski. No, honestly. So sorry, I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody. Well, I don't wish to be, but I just can't remember the name of this Polish guy that Stuart got on board for the theme album. Anyway, so yeah, a few guests on the new theme album. I think that will land in a couple of weeks as well. Pre-orders for it are trickling in, but a lot of people do participate in the ongoing 7 CD deal. I think that's the best way. It's one of the best ways of supporting the label, and indeed just nabbing yourself the next 7 CD titles. You can even begin with one of the previous ones. It's all pretty clear in the information in the shop. So Theme and Kleistvar are included in that ongoing 7 CD deal. Lots of other stuff happening as well, but I'll talk about them in due course. The only other thing maybe I should say is, whilst talking about theme, Stuart and I are in the middle of discussing a lathe cut version of the album with 2 kind of alternative mixes on. On one side, on each side of this 12-inch lathe cut, so up to 18 or 19 minutes a side, I can't remember. So we're thinking about that at the moment as well, but it would be really, really limited, like 30 copies. And I'm also thinking about getting the Nick Mott LP up and running in the near future. That will be limited to 100 or 125. And also, to that end, it depends on the price, but I only had a few pre-orders for the Richard Young's LP. I might do a similar thing with that. I might just make that 100, but I need to discuss that with Richard. Here I'm announcing it, and I haven't even discussed it with Richard yet. It's a fantastic record, and I think there have been 1,500 or so views or listens to music from Zirkulus on the YouTube channel, on the Fourth Dimension YouTube channel. So a lot of interest, but pre-orders, fewer than 10. So don't know why. It's absolutely wonderful music, really good, earthy kind of organic drone music, really nice. Which is something I always wanted from Richard as well, Richard Youngs, because I think he excels at that kind of music. He excels with all kinds of stuff, but I really like what he does when he does kind of drone-orientated music. And to that end, I think I've covered everything. So just a shop link below. Please check out deals that are going on until the 11th of May. Read about the Grim Humour book, and if you're interested in Grim Humour book 2, yes, I'll be placing an order for more copies of that next week. But that will be it. Once they go, that will be it. Grim Humour book 3, of course, you can pre-order that as well. And I think that's it. Otherwise, in fact, when I walked the dog earlier, I went to collect a package in what we call a paczkomat here in Poland, and it's a place where you can collect parcels, small parcels and packages. And I had one from Zaharan, the Polish label, with several titles in, and I'm playing one of them now. The Dirk Serres, Mr. Vidna Obmana, the Belgian guy. This is nice, and I'm listening to this for a second time. What's it called? Zonal Disturbances, Volume 2. So the second volume, and I think the first was digital only. So this is nice, but I will level a complaint. It's a nice 6-panel CD set. It's 70, even with 4 tracks, it lasts over 70 minutes, 73 minutes or something. There's no need for it. So, God, there's only so much spare time in the day. But it is good. It starts off really nice. It sounds like some guitar on there or something, actually. It sounds like Gates. Do you remember Michael Morley or of the Dead Sea? It sounds a little like that, or Aidan Baker going in that kind of direction, kind of murky, droney guitar work, and then it becomes something more electronic, I think. No, it sounds like an amplifier is being used. So I don't know. Maybe it is all guitar. I don't know. Could even be a bow on a guitar. It's nice, just a little too long. I don't want CDs so long. You don't, just because you've got 75, 76 minutes on a CD, you don't have to fill it up. I was listening to a Biota and Mnemonists CD from Anomalous yesterday, and that was also 65 minutes or something. Again, there's just no need for it. So, yeah, I know that was quite an old release, but I really like the old album approach. 40, 45 minutes. I don't mind if it's 50 minutes, even going towards 50 or just slightly over 50 minutes, but an hour or more just very often seems a little too self-indulgent, and unnecessary. A lot of the music seems surplus to requirements. There are exceptions, of course, but that's how it very often seems to me anyway. But yeah, nice album anyway. Nice album. Um, I haven't got. I was listening to this earlier as well. Another Anomalous. This is a reissue. Um, Philip Sanderson, yeah, the guy from Stormbugs. I think it's a 1980 cassette release originally. That's nice, and not over long either. So perfect. In the Zaharan package today, I also got this Hybrids, and I've got a couple of their albums. They're a little like Rapoon in a way. You know, or Muslim Gauze. Once you've got 2 or 3 albums, you've got the collection really. Maybe you could say that about Mersbo as well, but obviously completely different music. Yeah, I've got this in stock, but I have to be honest, that cover looks atrocious. It's appalling. It looks like some dodgy metal cover. So that's put me off. I won't be keeping that. I did try playing a copy of this earlier as well. The Holy Family. It's kind of dressed up as krautrock inspired psychedelic rock, noise rock. But I played 2 songs, and it's a live album, and I have to say it didn't do a lot for me. Maybe it's just because I wasn't in the mood. I have to be like everybody. You have to be in the mood for certain things. But when I'm in the mood for kind of more rock-driven music, I prefer old stuff. So yeah, I'll go back to it because there's my copy, and that again. That I mean, they look like a right bunch of bozos. Sorry, that doesn't look promising to me. So, yeah, and I'll go back to it. And sorry, yeah, they might be lovely guys, but it's not good. It's not a good look. Again, they look like a bunch of. I don't know. They look like they should be playing in a pub. Have a look at that again. What do they look like? Yeah. So there we are. Just in case you think I've gone a little soft in my old age on music. Yeah. Nah. I think that's where I'll leave it. I did plan to review a couple of other things, but I think maybe. Oh, yeah, that's how I'll round things off. I mentioned it last time, but I've written some more and uploaded more adverse effect reviews. Review material always welcome, of course. I might do more in the way of stuff here on the channel in that respect. But like I said last time, I prefer writing about music. And I'm sure I'll be writing about that at some point, and possibly this Dirk Ceres CD as well. But hybrids, no, I'm not even going to go there. I mean, that is just fucking awful. What were they thinking? Isn't it? It's beyond me. So I would never release an album looking like that. Maybe they're just metalers at heart. If they are, that's kind of a bit off-putting, really. So anyway, I will go, and I'll be back here again soon. Oh God, it's almost 30 minutes in length. Sorry about that. I thought I'd only be here for 20 minutes. I will be here again soon, sooner rather than later. And I'm still trying to work on this Mark Perry discussion, hopefully next week. Thank you very much. See you here again soon. Bye bye.